Consultation, not confrontation. Dialogue, not monologue.
This morning's activity is the culmination of several months of tough negotiations.
These are times that call for innovations. These are not times where you go back to the old way of doing things.
Jamaica owes you a debt of gratitude.
Government and several trade unions have signed a heads of agreement that cements the parties' decision to forego a salary increase for public sector workers for the 2010-2012 contract period. In lieu of the salary increase, some groups of workers will get a number of benefits. Following months of negotiations, the parties sealed the deal on May 31 at Jamaica House.
We are not, in this administration, a part of the take it or leave it persuasion to industrial negotiations and industrial relations. And we believe that no matter how difficult the challenge, that there will always be room for honest dialogue, exchange of views.
During those frank discussions, the government placed its financial position on the table. 80% of the country's budget is used to fund Jamaica's debt and pay wages and salaries. The other 20% has to facilitate everything else: infrastructure development, healthcare, education, and a host of other things. And trade unions have agreed that the collective bargaining process has to change to allow the economy to flourish.
We are living in a Jamaica where we are experiencing severe financial and economic problems, and so we in the trade union movement recognize the context within which we are conducting wage negotiations.
While conceding that public sector workers are not totally happy with the decision to forego an increase for the 2010-2012 period, trade unionists say they're focusing on the bigger picture.
I would certainly like in my lifetime to be at a point where we would be recording 4%, 5%, 6% growth in the Jamaican economy. That would make our lives as trade union leaders so much easier, because then we would be negotiating for our share of a much bigger pie.
As part of the growth inducement strategy, the government commits to working on its medium-term economic program, which is partly centered on reducing the country's debt. While that is underway, however, the administration maintains this position.
We have held the line against or in the face of many who believe that the test of a commitment to fiscal prudence is a willingness to shed thousands of jobs from the public sector. We are not of that view.
And so the government commits to doing all it can to protect the livelihood of public sector workers, their families and dependents, while modernizing the sector to improve efficiency. An assurance has been given that there will be no redundancies, except for those that may come when the public sector master rationalization plan is implemented. In addition to that assurance, public sector workers will get a number of other benefits in lieu of a wage increase for the 2010-2012 period.
The government commits to making the position of district constables pensionable. The agreement binds the government to the refurbishing and equipping of the gym at the Jamaica Police Academy and the provision of gym facility at Mobile Reserve.
Public sector workers are also expected to get houses as well as an increase in traveling allowances effective April 1 this year. The government has also agreed to implement the long-awaited reclassification of the health sector. There is one condition, though.
Any adverse deviation from the 2 percentage point of inflation will trigger an automatic review of the agreement.
All parties agree that this partnership will help Jamaica to remain steady through this challenging economic period.
My sincere thanks to everyone for the constructive and engaging dialogue, understanding, and commitment which have guided this necessary and at times difficult negotiating process.